One other thing that I wanted to mention on this week's podcast, which I've been thinking about a lot, is Jose Mourinho posted on his Instagram a photograph of his chairs. He has these 2 custom-made chairs by a company called Secret Lab in his office at Tottenham's training ground. These are the Secret Lab Omega brand, one of which is Game of Thrones branded. Now, I've never watched Game of Thrones, but I'm told that it has the branding of the House of Stark, who my colleague Carl Anker tells me are stoic, moral, and fiercely loyal. So they've got Ned Stark, who is played by Sean Bean, who apparently gets... So I'm going to spoil Game of Thrones now for you. I'm sorry, listeners, but apparently he gets decapitated at the end of season 1 for being too honourable.
For fuck's sake!
Well,
what if I was going to watch that?
This was years ago.
Can I just say, I've started watching The Sopranos, and I know you're a big fan of The Sopranos, and I'm about to talk about that in a minute. Can you not spoil The Sopranos, please?
Okay, promise. I promise I won't spoil The Sopranos for you. And then the other one is The Dark Knight, guys. I don't know what you think about this. What you think the Game of Thrones and Dark Knight chairs tell us about Mourinho?
I mean, they are like a sort of 14-year-old boy's chairs, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. Yes, they are.
I mean, looking at those pictures, all I can think of is like the smell of a 14-year-old's bedroom, which maybe the less said about that, the better.
I have to say, I think that I can't talk about Game of Thrones, but I do think that Mourinho having a Dark Knight chair is just perfect, because I imagine that, that famous sequence at the end of The Dark Knight is basically how Mourinho conceives of himself. Like this idea that in a corrupted world, that a good man will have to do bad things to get results. And if that means he's hated by other people, then he's brave enough to take it. And part of Mourinho's strength, as he conceives it, is his willingness to embrace the dark side and to accept all the criticism, and reveling in that sense of martyring his own image. That bit, it's like Mourinho is saying, I am whatever football needs me to be. I imagine he watched...
He's an anti-hero.
Yeah, he would. I can totally see Mourinho watching The Dark Knight and thinking, yes, this is exactly my vibe.
How do we think Mourinho would have felt about the previous Batman films? I mean, presumably he would have hated the kind of that Batman Forever, Batman and Robin era, but maybe would have quite liked the Michael Keaton ones.
Yeah, too kitschy.
Yeah.
Too kitschy for Jose.
Jose does have a big kind of mischief to him.
That's true.
Like mischief and...
glint in his eye.
Like taunting and wordplay and that kind of thing is...
Do you think he likes Jim Carrey as the Riddler? Is that what you're saying?
Maybe. I do think there's kind of lightness to amidst the dark, I think, with Mourinho. I think you're absolutely right, Breaking Bad. I can totally see him. I can totally see Mourinho loving Breaking Bad, because Breaking Bad is obviously so popular with some men, or lots of men, and particularly the kind of Breaking Bad fan who just sees the show quite simply as how one clever, ruthless man came from nothing to build this amazing empire.
I can have to word this question carefully, because I don't want to suggest that Jose Mourinho might cook meth. Which Spurs player would be the Jesse Pinkman to Jose's Walter White?
I was thinking about this, and I wonder. It feels like there has to be an arc to the story, doesn't there? And they have to rub each other up the wrong way and be in conflict for a lot of the time, but for there to be some affection. So I wondered if someone like Ndombele, who they started off really, really not liking one another, it seemed, but they found a common ground and a way of working together, and they now...
It's mutually beneficial.
Yeah, well, they feel like a partnership, and, who would have thought that Pinkman and White would form that bond? And likewise, we thought this maverick midfielder and the kind of veteran, experienced manager, but they've managed to find a way to do it. So I think it would be someone like him.
So are you saying it's all going to end with, and this is a massive spoiler for Breaking Bad, by the way, so forgive me, with Jose Mourinho being terminated, let's say, and Tungi and Ndombele escaping? Is that what you're suggesting?
I guess eventually they will both leave, yeah. So, yeah, the parallel works perfectly.
I can also see him in Narcos.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
Quite a kind of glitz. I really like Narcos, but it's quite a simple, glitzy, glamorous, dramatic show about a charismatic, powerful bad man. It's good. I think it's really well made, but it's
again,
very Mourinho.
Anti-hero again. You can see it.
The anti-hero, Walter White or the characters in Narcos, those kind of anti-heroes don't have they don't have the depth of like a sort of Tony Soprano type.
Wasn't it Pochettino? He was a big House of Cards fan.
Oh yeah, I can definitely see Mourinho like.
So because I always thought Mourinho would admire the Frank Underwood kind of Machiavellianness.
Do you reckon he likes The Sopranos?
Yeah, definitely. Oh, for exactly the same reason. Tony Soprano is an anti-hero, right? It's exactly the same. You can just see he could see himself in Tony Soprano.
If he'd be a character in The Sopranos, who'd he be?
I've told you I've watched 2 episodes.
You watched 2 episodes, okay. I'm going to say Johnny Sack, just because kind of stylish, like quite on the surface he can be reserved, but then also like with like spasms of emotion and anger. I'm not giving anything away, James, by saying that, but I've always seen him as a kind of Johnny Sack, I think, more than Tony, just because Tony has a kind of, I don't know, maybe it's just a physical thing. It's because Tony's such a big guy and he's got this kind of garrulousness and stuff, and I've never quite seen him in Mourinho in quite the same way.
What do you think Mourinho will watch on Christmas Day? Will he watch Gavin and Stacey?
I'll probably watch like videos of how Wolves defend set pieces.
Should be careful about what you say about Gavin and Stacey, because I reckon that's an incredible. I really hate it. I mean, I've never seen it, but it looks shit. But I reckon it's an incredibly Spurs programme, so we should be careful about what we say.
Well, actually, Gavin's a big Tottenham fan, but both the actor Matt Horn and the character Gavin.
Yeah.
I really like in these pictures the Batman ones are like reasonably natural in a way, the way he's posing with them, and then the Game of Thrones ones, he's like sitting out, looking at what looks like an empty pitch. It looks like weirdly unnatural. You think they could have found a way of making it look like, this is, as if are we meant to think he just sort of sits there like that of a day, just gazing out.
Can I give an explanation, or what I think is an explanation for why he's posted this? And this came up on my brother's Instagram feed last night. I'll read the message. So look, #Secret Lab, make nice chairs, comfortable, looks great price for a premium product. And here's the thing, they'll extend my warranty if I post this, so here we are. #I'm sorry. So I put to you that Jose Mourinho has posted that to get an extended warranty on the chairs.
Wow.
There you go. Another big story exclusive to the Athletic.
I imagine it's been a big day for Secret Lab, because now, Mourinho's got, I don't know off the top of my head, but I imagine millions of Instagram followers who are now familiar with Secret Lab. Like, I was looking at the chairs myself, so they've been reduced from £379 to £344 in time for Christmas.
Look, if you're gonna almost literally hawk your backside around like that, then I am also looking for a chair. So if they want to send us some free chairs,
I actually just bought an office chair. God, what an idiot! Given that Secret Lab are about to send us some incredible chairs to use, it's fine. You can still do it.
Was it Game of Thrones branded?
It was Dark Knight, actually.
And you won't even need that warranty.
On the other hand, it's possible that we're all completely overthinking this, and he just really likes like Big Bang Theory.
I know, or just Friends. Maybe he's a really big Friends fan.
Yeah,
that kind of.
Who do you think is his favourite? Who's his
favourite Friends character? I reckon maybe Joey. I know that sounds ridiculous, but in the way that Jack was saying before, he does have that kind of mischievous side to him.
I can see him just sat there earnestly watching Friends, being like, "This guy Joey, he's hilarious," and like WhatsApping the rest of the Spurs team his favourite clips from Friends. But who knows? Okay, I think that's probably as good a point as any to bring an end to this week's podcast. But thank you very much if you have made it all the way through this nonsense at the end. We will be back again next week, by which point Spurs will have played Liverpool and Leicester in the Premier League. So we'll know a lot more about the strength of their title challenge by then. If there's anything else you'd like us to discuss then, please just tweet us. Thank you very much to James and Charlie and producer Tom. And we'll be back again next week.